With the loser on the block. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm not gonna get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information for me. Important, you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up, and the snake hits get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up if I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle and lesson.
Hey everybody, hey everybody, happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. How y'all doing out there on tonight? I pray your week has been good. It's me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, back for another night of conversation and company. All right. I see we got some people in the house, so I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to put on my glasses. I'm not going to act like I can't see today. All right, let's see who we got in the building. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday night again with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on where? The greatest network in these YouTube streets, the Bravo with Sheila network, coming to you live. As always, we are making it do what it do, and we are bringing it to you live. Bear with me one quick minute. We still here, y'all. We still here. Just got to make some minor adjustments right quick, and then we'll be right back with you in person. Ta-da! All right, and we're back. So sorry. Thank you for bearing with me. But I hope your week has been great. I'm excited and grateful that you guys are here back on another Thursday night, that you choose to share this space with us. And look who's in the building. None other than the queen of the Bravo with Sheila network, the queen bee herself, Pastor Sheila, a.k.a. my Auntie Bravo. She says, have a great show, Bravo niece. Thank you, Auntie. And we give you a big salute of Bravo. Thank you for yielding this captain's chair to me every Thursday night to have some good conversation with some good company here on the network. So we want to welcome everyone into the building. As you come in, please drop a comment, say hello, say good evening. Don't stay up. I know you paid for the expensive seats up in the silent section, but tonight, come on down to the comment section. I promise you it is safe down here. We have security. As you know, our number one rule and thing here on the Bravo Sheila Network is respect. So I want to encourage you to come on down, engage in some great dialogue with us on tonight, and let's have a good conversation on this pre-Valentine's Day Thursday. Hey, I hope y'all are in a good mood. I know I am. Grateful the work day is over and this week is almost done, right? So again, welcome tonight, guys. Please do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button. It is free 99. We would appreciate it. Please, ma'am. Please, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It is free to you. It's nothing but the push of a button. That's all. You just do me that one solid. Just hit that thumbs up. If you don't do nothing else, just hit that. It is free to you, but it does mean the world to us as it helps push our algorithm up and help to get this, great content out. It pushes it out further so that more people can engage. We are international. We go to many places, many spaces, but we want to bring even more people in, and we are so close to having 1,000 subscribers. So if you don't mind, and even if you do, I'm going to actually do it anyway. If you would just hit that subscribe button so that you can be a part of the Bravo Nation. Subscribe to the channel. See all the wonderful things that are going on over here with us. On Monday nights, we have my co-podcasters and my fellow writing sisters, HG Incorporated Forever in the house, in the persons of Coach Pache and Dr. Elaine Edwards. They are on Monday nights at 7 p.m., always holding down Eastern Standard Time. That is always holding down great conversation as well on a Monday. And on Thursday nights, you have me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, right here, live and in color at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursday nights, it can go many ways. We never know what we're going to get, but we know it's going to be good, right? So please do me the favor, help us to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I would appreciate it so very much. We would appreciate it so very much. And also, if you're enjoying the conversation and you want to support the network, please feel free to hit that super chat button. We will pause. We will recognize you. We will shut it down on your behalf because we appreciate you sowing. I felt like we're in church. We appreciate you supporting this amazing network where we are doing amazing, amazing things. So again, welcome everyone tonight. This Thursday with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We have a panel coming in. It's going to be a great discussion. And before I go further, I want to continue to greet the people in the building. Let's see. We got Landon Price in the building. Hey, and hello. And hey, Landon, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in, for dropping by. I hope you brought some friends with you so we can have great conversation on tonight. It's so appreciated. And of course, we couldn't do half of what we do without who? The greatest moderator in these YouTube streets, the most amazing young lady to ever do it. Who said it can't be done? She does it all the time. It proves them wrong. None other than the lady in Kenya in the building, always making sure everyone is greeted with a hearty and warm welcome here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, no matter what day or night it is. She is always in the house and on point. And so we appreciate you. Love you so much, beautiful. And she is greeting everyone in the building on tonight. And now I see Rock, my big brother's in the house on tonight, also in the comment section. He's on the wrong side of the panel tonight, but I'm sure he's going to make his way up to this platform. I'm pretty sure, because we want to hear his voice, want y'all to see his face, and get used to it. Get used to seeing him in the building, because his voice deserves to be heard. All right. And they says we are 47 subscribers away from our mark. So I hope and pray that you all will hit that like button, that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. Please, sir, please, ma'am. And share. Help us to get this great content out a little further into the universe. We appreciate it so very, very much. Truly, we do. All right. So let's see what else. Oh, yes. And by way of announcement, just to make sure we put our disclaimers out there as they always do. So here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, while we are not a Christian-based network, most of our panel, we are believers. Okay. But we want it to be known that this is a space where we are open and we are respectful to everyone's thoughts, feelings, opinions, beliefs, whatever your moral compass is. We welcome it here. Again, we just always ask that things that be done respectfully, that we comment respectfully, that we dialogue with one another respectfully, and that we hear each other. We're not here to convict nor to convince. We are just here to have open conversation that will help us and have real conversation with real resolutions so that we can show up better in the spaces that we are a part of, so that when we are showing up, we are showing up as the best version of ourselves that we can be one day at a time, right? Who doesn't want to be better? I know I do, each and every day, right? We want to make sure that we are again, just being our very best. And how else can we do that? But by having open dialogue and communication amongst one another. So, with that being said, again, respect is the number one thing we do here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. So, we, again, whatever your moral compass is, we welcome it. But we just ask that we engage respectfully. For me, I'm a God's girl, so you're going to get a little Jesus every single time you get me. But if you are in need of a little Jesus, if you feel like you need a little inspiration, you need a little boost of God, something that you need, I invite you to go across the street. You can go this way or that way. It doesn't make a difference. As long as you cross the street, you will find them there. Over across the street on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. And over there, you will find Pastor Sheila herself serving it up on a regular basis, day by day. Always sharing some good stuff and always giving us some wonderful gems by way of the word, by way of prayer, by way of meditation, meditation through the word, and also through song. So go over there as well, get what you need, get a little encouragement for your day, and I promise you, you will be all right. Okay. Over there on Tuesday mornings, you will find at 10 a.m. and she is in the building right here, none other than Pastor Rosa herself, the little sweet hidden gem. She is my mama, y'all. She pushed me out. Literally, I am 4 of 4. I am her last child. I'm not gonna say her best child because I don't want my others to get a little upset. But we're a little biased. But I am the last of her flock. So welcome, mommy. Thank you for tuning in on tonight and joining us. But Pastor Rosa is across the street on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. and she shares a word of encouragement and inspiration through the word of God. So you can always go over there and be inspired. As well, on Fridays, it is a triple threat. I promise you, you don't want to miss these dynamic ladies. They are known as the women of grace, and graceful they are. They are in the persons of our very own Pastor Sheila, our very own my mama, Pastor Rosa, and I have named her my auntie gangster because we roll like that. She from the South Side, in the person of Reverend Jenny. And the three of them come on Friday mornings at 11 a.m. and they share. They've been walking through the women of the Bible, and I promise you, you will definitely be blessed. You will find yourself in the midst of that. You will be able to relate and walk away with some gems. So join them over there when you can, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. And should you miss any of these amazing things, guess what? The replays are always on, so you can always go back and watch the replay. But we would love for you to be with us in person. So again, please like, please subscribe, and please do share. And again, we are 47 subscribers away from our goal of 1,000. So if you would not mind, get mama, get Pookie and them, get daddy and Ray, get your Uncle Jethro, all of the folk, all of them, to come on and subscribe to the channel and hit those notifications. All right. So now that we have our announcements out of the way, and now that we have our disclaimer out there, we are going to get ready to get into some amazing conversation on tonight. And I have some of my beloved loves with me on tonight. I'm excited about what is happening and where this conversation is going to go. So first, on this Thursday night, pre-Valentine's Day, let me just say happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope you all have your love person selected and you are ready to just be overwhelmed by all the goodness that Valentine's Day brings. Okay. If you haven't, there's still time. It's not midnight yet. Just make a wise choice. But for the month of February, we've been having love talk. This is the second week, but we've been talking about love. We talked about love last week. What is love? Let's just talk about it, right? So on tonight, we're going to take it a step further. And tonight's conversation, we're having a little extra, going a little deeper with our love talk. And we're going to be talking about selfishness versus selflessness in love. What does that look like? What does it feel like? What is the fruit thereof? Are we being selfish? Is what we think someone is doing selfishly, is it really selfishness? Or are they being selfless? I don't know, but we'll talk about it. We'll see what's happening. And I'm glad to say that on tonight, I have some wonderful guests on the panel with me. They are my family. For sure, for sure. So I'm going to start bringing them up so that we can begin to engage in amazing conversation. Some of them, this will be the first time. Some of them, they'll be the second. But I promise you will see them again and again and again. So without further ado, let me bring up to this platform my sis. She's like, I don't even know how to, I don't even know how to really put it into words. You know, she was like, I don't even want to say the best and the worst thing to me at the same time. She is in the person. I'm just gonna bring her up. We're just gonna see what happens when she gets up here, y'all. So I want y'all to welcome and give some bravo love to my sis. Haven is in the building. Hey. We can't hear you, Mama. You muted. Yeah, take yourself off mute. Wait. Hey, let me see if I can. There you go.
Can you hear me? I'm gonna be my disclaimer. I'm gonna behave today. Dawn.
Huh?
I'm gonna behave today.
Okay. So my question to you is how? Because it's not. Let me give y'all a little. Don't talk to Haven right now, y'all. Don't talk. We're not gonna talk to her. This is between me and y'all. This is between me. So let me share with you what I've learned about people. We've been asking the wrong question for a lifetime, okay? Well, we've been making the wrong statement for a lifetime. We always tell people to behave, right? But behaving is not the problem because we behave all the time. The real question is how? How are you going to behave? Okay, how are we behaving? What are we doing, right? So her telling me that she's going to behave tonight is not bringing me any more comfort than it was before.
You sure?
I'm positive. I'm not feeling comforted. Not at all.
I tried.
But what I love is Haven is real. She keeps it a buck. That's why she's my little sister. You know, we give each other a lovingly hard time. But we will not let anybody else give us any type of trouble because we will be on it, okay? Because this is my girl. I love her. I love everything that is her. One of the sweetest people that I know. Just such a blessing. She is anointed. She has the voice of, listen, y'all. Oh, my Lord. This child sings that I fall under the table. I'm just saying, blesses my whole soul. I just give up the ghost. That's all. She is just, they had me. She took me out yesterday. She took me out yesterday. She took me out. My whole day just went left after she done sang a little worship. Tore me up. But I just thank God for her. And again, I know we're not in church. This is not a Christian platform. But again, I give thanks for her because she's just amazing, a wonderful addition to my life. I feel like she's always been here. And she's here with us on tonight to share from her wealth of experience and wisdom and help add to this conversation. So thank you for joining us, Haven.
Yes.
Then we gonna be here. I'm not gonna behave. I already told them.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't expect it.
Okay, as long as you, because I don't want anybody to be disappointed. Don't do it. This 2025 is toxic, y'all.
Yeah.
It's pretty much how we rolling. Yeah. So we getting down to it. It's time. Listen, we calling the thing a thing this year. Okay, we call it what it is. We're not taking no shorts, no wooden nickels. Okay, it is all or nothing, and nothing is not an option. So hey, we ride until the wheels fall off, and then we gonna roll on the rims. That's what we doing.
That's
until
it.
we get there. Thank you for joining us for this love talk tonight. And also in the building, I know he's still busy doing whatever he's doing as he's doing it, but I don't care. He's in the building on tonight. He's no stranger here. Now, I think this is about his third time. After the second time, you're no stranger. The third time, you're definitely no longer visiting your family. You're part of the foundation is just where you're at now. We say there's one way in and no way out. But you have heard his voice for the last few weeks, and I hope you look forward to hearing from him some more as he will be engrafted into the men's lounge as we return. Get ready because we got some new voices coming. So he isn't the person. Y'all know him. You love him. You know, he's our guy. He is King Rain is in the building. Come on and greet the people.
Come on, King. Hey.
All right, are you muted too? All right, I'm gonna take you off mute too.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, I can't.
You got to take yourself off mute, King. You're trying to
Okay, well, as he's rolling, I think he's rolling. That's all right. He's gonna get to a stationary place.
Yes. We're gonna be safe.
Right. So we do have, yes, be safe. We see you. Can't take you off mute for some reason. Y'all know these things are unpredictable.
Oh, yeah. See, we need you to not touch it.
Mighty God.
There you go.
Thank you, Lord. Welcome. How are you today, King? How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
My sisters. How are you?
We are.
Are we giving formal introductions or we keep?
Shall I? I feel I should.
I'm just saying. I'm doing both of y'all. Neither one of y'all are gonna do each other.
I feel we have time. We got a minute before we get into this love talk. This is the way we love on each other, y'all. This is a part of love. So you have to give pet names and nicknames to one another to express your love. Okay? Put that down as a note. All right. First rule number 1 in love talk. Okay. You gotta find a name for it. Okay.
In any family, you never call your family by your government unless they're in trouble.
Oh, we always call it.
I just want to make sure we're gonna be within the bylaws when you introduce it. No pre.
I'm always in the bylaws. It's this one up here that I always have trouble with it.
Huh? What you say?
Huh?
Me? I always follow the rules. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes. Well, I did it. So yes, let's do this right. Who we have? Oh, hold on. Disciple Spencer is in the building. Hey, Spence, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Welcome. So glad you made it on to Thursday night. While we in the midst of February, this month of love, we have a love talk tonight, and we're gonna be talking about selfish or selfless love. Is it okay? What does that look like? What's the fruit thereof? We're not gonna keep it churchy. We're gonna keep it real tonight. But I do want since we the request was made for the formalities. You're right. I didn't introduce you properly. So
no, I was talking about all of us, not just me. We're not. Don't make it about me.
We've already done us. We've done us. We're fine.
Wow.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, he is King Rain, but he is also the chief apostle, high priest, prophet, bishop, deacon, oily hands, head of the Sunday school and the program folding ministry, lead bus driver, and sexton. He is also the archbishop and high priest of the TikToker Pentecostal Lutheran Apostolic Lutheran House of the Latter-day Saints Incorporated Church in God. Welcome you. Everyone's standing.
Yes.
So there is a blessing in the room today. Are you ready? Get ready to receive.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yeah. I forgot. I'm sorry. I said we wasn't going to church today. We keep it real. We
Yeah.
going.
Get ready, get ready.
And you can't say that unless you go like this.
Oh, gotta.
Oh wow,
So I was showing with my sparkles.
Haven.
We just loving on each other, guys. We just loving on each other. Don't
Since
mind,
we doing that,
huh? That's we doing.
everybody,
Lord,
y'all didn't stand for me, but y'all have to stand for this one. You know what? You can't do it. You can't tell people to do something you're not doing. Give me a second. Okay.
wow.
Oh, he's standing. He's
I
standing.
know the whole different. I know we are this year, y'all.
We gotta. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that we
Don't
address her.
don't we
You
get
know,
into the conversation.
because Haven, I think she's deserving of it. You
You,
know,
you no, it's been there.
I think she's deserved. Okay. All right, people. We can ask you to stand to your feet
My
as we
Lord.
come. You know, the Lord is in His holy temple, but all the earth
Oh,
is silent before Him.
We took it to church, but we
Yeah.
today. But we wasn't doing.
I feel God.
But we wasn't doing church today. This is
Haven, Haven, I feel the oil. I feel it.
the non-Christian platform. This is the non-Christian platform.
I feel it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight we have one of our fearless leaders of the church.
mm.
Amen. Um, she has been Haven. I don't know if you know, she's been elevated.
Ooh.
She's been elevated.
We're
She's
not.
no
We're not
longer just she's no longer just elder. You know that's when the Bible said, "Old things are passed away, and behold, all things
Ooh.
are
Mm.
become new." We now have. She is still the right elder,
Oh.
but she is now chief elder. Huh. Um,
no. You can't take church folk.
head psalmist. Huh? 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 Huh?
Continue.
We have the chief right elder,
Uh-huh.
head psalmist,
Ooh.
and director of the Sunshine Band.
Uh-huh.
Amen.
Wow.
But Haven, here's what's crazy. She's
Tell me.
not just local, she's international with it now.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's also the international praise team leader of Africa and abroad.
Africa.
You know,
See, I like how you specified.
we have specifics. You know, she said we be real over here, so we got to tell it the real way.
Mm.
It's not accepted any other way.
Mm.
Yeah, she is now the international praise team leader of Africa and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, the right chief elder, Southside, is in the building. How's it going? You hear the crowd? They're going crazy, but I know.
I heard. I heard
This
him.
is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
I heard him.
Wow. They love you, going. You heard them, Haven?
I
Uh-huh.
did. I did. And you know what? And I love and
But,
appreciate.
Dawn, we're not
Yes.
done yet.
Oh.
There's someone else in the building.
Wow. Yes, there is. And we're going to put the conversation right after this.
Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. Dawn, she is what I call the head administrator. She is the best typer in the group. Uh, she is very good at setting order, making sure we know our positions
She
and
is the
what it is that we
Bylaureate.
have to do.
She is the Bylaureate.
Y'all, she is the author and finish of the bylaws that we have to live and abide by. We had to sign it and submit a copy in order to be a part of this. We
Yes.
had to. Um, I guess we would have been kicked out if we didn't.
Fun.
Um, y'all, she's so special. She has a special pew that she goes under every time. No one else can go there. Only her.
Just me.
Whenever she's missing in action, we know where to find her.
Yeah.
That is true.
Um, she is the head international administrative assistant,
It's international. Okay.
director of HR,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
she is the co-founder and assistant of the praise team. Yeah, you've been elevated too. Come on,
Thank
get right
you.
here.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's your elevation. Amen.
Oh,
We have, I call her the right missionary.
mm,
Elevation.
thank you.
Y'all, we have Lady Lingo in the building,
Thank you.
aka
Yeah.
Haven.
Yes.
She doesn't behave, she just behaving. It's a difference.
She just behaving. Just behave.
Behaving. She
Behaving.
got her own word.
Behaving. That's
Dawn.
huh?
Dawn.
Yeah.
See, Mama, I just my
Start the
sister.
podcast, Dawn. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and start,
Yes.
Dawn.
Yes, we're starting because this is
Go ahead and start.
family meeting time. This is don't worry, Bravo Nation. Y'all will get used to the shenanigans that take place. There's more of us and there's more to come. But we do have a really good conversation on tonight that we do want to get into and we do want to share about. As I was sharing last week, I shared from a portion of this book that I had the amazing opportunity to write in. This actually my first one that was published, which is Loving You is Hurting Me.
Woo!
It is we shared our experiences of when we were in relationship situations, whether it be male, female, family, friend, foe, whatever it was, but being in a situation where we are loving someone, but that act of us loving them was really doing more harm to us than good. So we had to come to terms with a few things. So last week we shared what I thought love was. That's how we started our conversation. And so I actually ended up writing a little acronym or a little explanation of what love is or should be for me. And it's simply putting out LOVE. And what was written was L was for loyalty. These are things that love should contain. L was for loyalty. O was for obligation. V is for vulnerability and validate. And E is for effort. So these are some of the things that encompass love and the things that we should be looking for and experiencing and giving when it comes to love. The second chapter in our book is I Knew What Love Was, or When I Knew What Love Was. And in writing this chapter, we were sharing from the place of when we finally understood and realized what love really was. So tonight I want to share, or our conversation is going to be talking about the position of love, selfish or selfless love.
Mm-hmm.
Because both of these things happen when it comes to relationships. And sometimes we tend to we can experience them in many different ways. I don't know that there's a right or wrong, so to speak, because it's always a matter of perspective. So before we get into conversation, I just want to add some definition to these two terms, because a lot of times we use these terms because we've heard them, but we really haven't looked them up to see what, we become familiar with it. So when you're speaking of selfish, selfish is defined as lacking consideration for others, concern with one's own personal profit or pleasure. Yes, lacking consideration for others and being concerned with one's own personal profit or pleasure. That is what selfishness is defined as. Now, selflessness is defined as being concerned more with the needs and wishes of others than one's own. So I have two questions on tonight. One question when we're talking about selfish is there ever a time where it's okay to be selfish?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we talk about selflessness, the question there is selflessness considered, or is it really a good thing? Because sometimes we give too much. So let's jump into this dialogue. So Haven, tell me what you think about selfish versus selfless love. And Haven is a beautifully married woman with a wonderful life experience. So come on and share. What are your thoughts initially when you think of selfishness versus selflessness when it comes to love?
Well, I guess selfish is let me see. Am I supposed to be on the panel? Yes. Talking to Rock.
You know she's talking.
Yes. Yes.
Why you have to put him
Selfish.
out there like that?
Yes. King, could you send the link please to Rock? Or somebody. But I am I believe that when you are selfish in love, you only care about your needs. You only care about yourself. I think that can look different when you're single. But selfish is, again, your concern is you. You don't think about the needs of others. You don't think about, how this can affect the other person because you're thinking about me. It's about me. It's just me. I want to make sure I get what I need. I want to make sure I have, I get what I want. That's selfish. Selfless, you have genuine concern about the needs of others. It's not about you. That's like, you know, as a wife, in relationship, most times, and let's just say, most times, as a wife, you think about taking care of your husbands. Most times, most wives kind of neglect themselves sometimes. They that can be detrimental if you don't find a balance,
Yeah.
because you will try your best to take care of your husband and make sure your husband has what he needs, and the detriment would be you will neglect everything about you, making sure he has what he needs. And that's, I guess, that's the offside, which I guess we'll get deeper into that. But just the selfless part of it is, you genuinely care about the needs of the other person. It's not just about you. So
Right.
yeah, I know I made it long-winded, but that's to not get real deep.
No, no. No, that was good. That was good because you're sharing, like you said, you make a great point from the perspective of a wife. I mean, we've all, been married, all of us that are at one time or another. And in marriage and in relationship, the concern should be one for the other.
Mm-hmm.
However, sometimes I think we've all encountered maybe a relationship with someone or a space in a relationship with someone where they deemed our actions as us being selfish because they did not get what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not necessarily the case.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're thinking about this ideal of selfishness versus selflessness, I think the matter of perspective is so key, because sometimes we are actually the selfish one because we are not getting what we want.
Yes.
And we have to then become selfless and consider the other person. I don't think anybody wants to be in a relationship with anyone that we can't give each other what we want or need. Well, some people might, but we've experienced those, but we're not trying to experience those relationships no more at this big age. We're trying to have great Valentine's days and good love, right?
Well, that's you said something in your last podcast, and it wasn't even about selfish or selfless, but it really was. And you said, one of the big things that I could say would be selfish is the stuff that you fail to say. That is a big deal. The stuff you really fail to say can be selfish, man. I wish that I had known. If I had known that you felt this way, we could have fixed it years ago. So I get it. That's yeah.
And sometimes when we do that, we're thinking that we're doing a favor to the person, or we're trying to not cause friction in the relationship. We're not saving the relationship. You're just prolonging the frustration that's going to come, later on. Um, and I think that we need to be able to confront things up front. We have to have good communication. We have to, that will breed better understanding. And then that causes us to be able to flow a whole lot better one with the other. And yes, I think when we do hold back, and it's something that I had to learn, that it is a very selfish act when I'm holding back. And I think I'm being selfless.
Mhm.
So King, come on, jump in, tell us what are your thoughts. But wait, before you do, let me bring up to the stage our big brother. He found his way here. He was across the street, probably one of the other networks. It's okay, he found his way here. He is in the person, I can't put it no other way, he's just the rock. So we gonna bring him up. Hey big bro, how are you?
You on mute?
He is on mute. All right, we're gonna give him a minute to come fix whatever he needs to fix. And in the meantime, come on, King, share with us your thoughts so far on selfishness versus selflessness.
Um, selfish. Um, it can really go one or two ways. I believe in there being a good type of selfish, which is involves you taking care of yourself. You putting yourself first. Um, because if you're not good, there's no way you can really truly make anybody else good if you're not where you need to be personally. Um, you can try to front, put on a mask all you want, but it's going to show and it's going to affect and it's going to be quite apparent that you're not good. So let's get that out the way. Selfishness, obviously, there's a good and a bad side to it. Um, I believe we all know what the bad side is to it. Not really caring about anybody else, their feelings, their point of views, their opinions, their feelings, their emotions, how it can affect them in a negative or positive way. Like Haven said earlier, the things, something that was the things we don't say to someone. Um, like it can something that could be said, especially in the right way, can prevent a lot of issues further on down the road. So, in selflessness, I definitely believe there is a downside to that because you can deplete yourself so much that you have nothing else to give really, um, which can underhandedly and unintentionally cause selfishness because you get in a mindset to where you're subconsciously, in a mindset of you think you're giving, but you're really not. You're taking
Mhm.
because you have, like you said, you have nothing else to give, so you automatically start to take because you think you're giving, but you're really not. So either one can fall into the other in a bad way and in a good way. Because I believe when you're there, I mean, there's really no other way to put it. I mean, if you ask me, God has a sense of selfishness to himself because he's a jealous God, right? So he has his selfishness is rightfully earned, if you ask me, because he has a right to feel the way he feels. Um, and I think he's the ultimate example of being selfless because he shows it every single day because he gives of himself so much to us, even though 85% of the time we don't deserve it. Um, which goes into him being selfless. And, we just have to know the line and know the balance of the two and just be
Right.
very careful how we implement that on other people because you want it to affect them positively and not in a negative way because I'm guilty of being on the bad side of both of those things. Um, like I said, I can speak on being selfless so much that it calls selfishness subconsciously in a bad way. And so
Say
just
that part again.
say again.
Say that last part you just said again.
No, I say you can give so much of yourself that you have nothing else to give, and you subconsciously start being selfish in a bad way. Because, all right, so you've been married to a person for X amount of years. It's been a one-sided relationship so much, and you give, 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 give. Like I said, you have nothing else to give. So now it's to the point where I have nothing else to give. So the mind automatically goes into take mode because you want something for yourself now. You're trying to pour back into yourself, but you really can't because you're not doing it the right way. So everyone around you, you're taking from them mentally, emotionally. It may not necessarily be physically, but in your actions and your words, you're now hurting other people. So it's that feeling of I'm in search for something can cause you to take, and you're not even be intentional, and without the right, I guess, without the right wake up call, you'll never see it
Would that be more? Would
because
that be more selfish, or would that be more regretting not responding sooner?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It becomes a selfish thing because you think you're being selfless by you think you're giving of yourself, but you're really not. So it's they both go hand in hand if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, it's just very important that we know the line and we know the balance between the two. That way it can be presented in the right way.
And I think that's going to vary depending on the person's and the situation,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
for sure.
in the relationship. And I want to pause right here to welcome to the stage the big brother like no other. The top dog himself is in the house. Welcome, Rock. Hi, baby. So
Hey,
glad
baby
you're here.
sis.
How you doing, big bro?
I'm doing all right. It was a conspiracy going on, but I fought through it. Some people, I ain't gonna start none because y'all always say me and Haven start, but it was a conspiracy. Somebody gave me the wrong instructions because they wanted to be the only brother on, but I ain't gonna say nothing. We're gonna leave it alone.
Family meeting.
So
Family
yeah,
meeting.
it was a conspiracy. It was a conspiracy, but it's okay because the little brother always want to be the big, but it's okay. We know.
You made it. You persevered and you made it.
Uh, that's why I'm the big brother. That's why I'm the big brother.
That's what the bottom out of old days here, right?
So we lying in public now?
This is all family, y'all. This is all family. This is my people's all family. And I'm so glad y'all were able to come on and join for this great conversation we're having tonight. But love talk we're doing for the month of February. We talking all things love, sharing on different points and different perspectives. So that we can learn how to love each other better, so that we can start seeing ourselves through a honest reflection in the mirror. And we were talking about selfishness versus selflessness, and it can be a very fine line. So again, thank you everyone, whoever else is coming and joined us on tonight. Thank you for tuning in on Thursday night with me, John B, here on the Bravo Sheila Network. I was talking that love talk. I know everybody don't want to talk about it. We just kind of want to keep it on the surface. God forbid we actually dig deep and get to the root of the matter so that we can get whole and healed and start showing up better so that we can stop attracting broken things because we are broken. But we ain't going to talk about that, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. Okay, you love different when you healed. I know I did. You choose different when you healed, right? So okay, we're not gonna go there, but we going. Yeah. So tonight we talking.
Come on, Elder. My Lord.
No, we ain't doing church tonight because sometimes we gotta have conversations that are all right. Welcome back, Spencer. Welcome back, Disciple. Sometimes we gotta have conversations outside of our places of fellowship. And again, as we always say, we are not a Christian network, although those of us who come on the panel, a lot of us are believers. For this panel tonight, everyone up here is a believer, but we not talking from the church perspective on tonight. Well, I told you I'm a God's girl, so you always gonna get some Jesus when you get me. But we just want to have real talk with real resolutions. We want to have real conversations, laying all titles and all this other stuff to the side, being real people, getting to the root of the matter. And we want to open up some healthy dialogue for us to converse, because sometimes we can't have these real-time conversations inside our spaces of fellowship because people won't be honest. We don't create safe spaces. And what's the saying that's going around right now? We listen but don't judge. Right, and that's what we're doing legitimately here on the Bravo with Sheila Network on Thursday nights. We listen, but we don't judge. So we're talking about selfishness versus selflessness. So I'm going to read the definitions again, and then Rock, I want you to share your perspective on these two angles within relationship. So the definition of selfishness was lacking consideration, or is lacking consideration for others concerned with for others. I'm sorry. Lacking consideration for others, concerned with one's own personal profit or pleasure. That's the definition of selfishness. Selflessness is defined as one who is concerned more with the needs and wishes of others over themselves, over their own needs. So, from your perspective and your experience, share with us how selfishness versus selflessness can affect the relationship. And Rock is also an amazingly married man, 25 years, right, bro?
This
25?
August.
Okay, see, holding it down for the 2-5, y'all. Listen, I don't even have a child that's 25 yet, so you're doing a whole lot better than I am. I'm just saying. But come on and share. That's experience.
Well, selfishness is it's when you have when a person doesn't regard how their behavior impacts others, right? And
Right.
and they feel that they can say what they want, do what they want. It's all about them. Their entitlement. They feel entitled. And they're so when you talk about selfishness, you're talking about people or a person who totally is all self-absorbed. Everything is about them. Even when they do something nice, it's still about them because they're doing something nice to achieve something for themselves,
That's a
right?
good point.
So
Yes.
that's what selfishness. And then when you come to selflessness, it's more about people helping without expecting anything in return. They're generous, they're kind. Um, it's sort of like the family we have here. We do for one another. We don't expect nothing in return. It's just natural. Somebody needs something, boom, we just do what we gotta do, right? We don't expect nothing. We ain't looking for nothing. We don't want nothing. And selflessness also deal with availability. Are you available emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually? Right? We think availability is just time, but you could be available in time, but not be there emotionally and mentally. You just gotta break it down like that. And a lot of we miss that. We miss it. So it's so when you get to comparing the two, they're vastly different. They're vastly different. One is consumed with others. Because selfishness could almost it's almost the same definition as narcissistic. The only difference is narcissistic is an exaggerated, inflated mindset of oneself. Where selfishness is about themselves, narcissistic is just inflated. Like they're like out. They like they are like out there. Everything is about them, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful, because when I learned that word narcissistic, and I started researching it, oh man, I started changing a whole lot about myself.
Right. Started
Like, oh, I'm not trying. I don't want nobody to be like this. I don't know if I was, but I wasn't. But I know If I was, I stopped. If I wasn't, I didn't because you know it's because I'm a type of person. I like to believe that I like people. I love people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all know I love my sisters. You know, you don't bother. Well, that's another topic. We ain't gonna talk about
Yeah.
don't bother. We gonna
Don't
do
play with it.
that because I might start getting selfish. So we ain't
Don't
gonna
do
do that. So
don't get me started.
That's a good form of the selfishness though.
well. See, what people miss is there's a healthy selfishness and there's an unhealthy selfishness, right?
So is with the selfishness that's healthy then, would that be considered a portion of selflessness?
Yes, it would be in the realm of selflessness. Yes, right. So you know, you just gotta be careful because you know, and another thing of selflessness I like is too is like what we also do in this family is like you have to allow people to get things off their chest. You have to allow people to vent,
Absolutely.
allow people to talk, and you know what I tell people too is that when you're venting, you know, there's still a level of accountability, responsibility, and maturity that goes along with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you vent, you just can't say whatever and do and whatever you want to somebody. You know, you still you but when it comes to selflessness, you want people to be able to give an opportunity to, you know, say what's on their mind, whether it's about you or whether it's not about you. So if I'm a selfless person, if King, you know, he always got something to say, you know, got something to say, I just sit and I listen. You know, if I interrupt every word he do, then I'm being selfish. That's a part of selfish, right?
Right.
Because I'm not allowing him to talk. It's about me. You know, I don't want to hear what you guys say. It's about me. You off. You wrong. So you know you gotta be careful because it's easily to seep over into the other one.
A
You could
thin
go from
line.
selflessness and easily go into being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful.
Now
Mm-hmm.
that's good. I
Mm-hmm.
love so much of what you said. And thank you for that share. Um, you talked about that fine line between selfishness and narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's a point that honestly I never really thought about those two being so close, you
Mhm.
know, like each other, like you said, but it's an exaggerated narcissism because it's an exaggerated form of selfishness.
Right.
I think in relationship, what happens or what can happen at times is it can be hard to communicate with someone who we are deeming as selfish because then I need for us to consider this. Um, is my perspective of their actions realistic or am I in my feelings?
Hmm.
You know, is are my feelings valid? You know, like does the punishment fit the crime? Is this really something that a person is being selfish about? Or is it that they're being selfless? Well, not really being self, but they're taking a stand in something that ends up with me not getting my way. So because I'm being denied, I'm thinking that they're selfish when the truth is I'm being the selfish one because I'm only considering me. I'm not considering the other person. And in any relationship, it's we. It's not you and it's not I, it's we. And I think that that's something that we tend to forget because we come into relationships sometimes from a wanting it to be self-serving, like you know it's about, like I said, it's about me. What am I going to get out of this? Yes, we connect with each other, we connect with people, and realistically, of course you want to be with someone who can do something for you. You want to be with someone who makes you feel a certain way. You want to be with someone who adds value to your life, and all of those things are so important. But we also, I believe, I've started to look at relationships or people that I have potential interest in. And one of the first things that if I can't say this when I consider you, then you're not the person for me. Or rather, when you say that, I'm not the person for you. If I can't go in and looking at you and saying, what can I add to your life?
Right.
Not what you give me.
Right.
When
Right.
we come to the table, I come to the table saying, this is what I want to be for you. This is what I want to be to you. This is what I want to do for you. This is how I want to, and the ladies don't get, a little, actually, but this is how I want to serve you, because believe it or not, that's what we're doing. We're serving each other.
That's right.
But
That's right.
if I'm not coming into the relationship or approaching you with those words, looking at you for myself, not waiting for you to tell me what I can add, but I'm coming to the table saying to you, like, this is what I want to give to your life. And I feel like that is a form of selflessness, because I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about you, and I feel like if we all start, and not that my way is not the only way, as I'm not saying it's just the book of dawn, it's just what works for me. But if we all start coming to the table, don't do it. Don't do it. Come on, big bro.
See what you're saying is, you have value. So you bring value to the relation. So when we formed this family, everybody bought value. Now, once the value hits the table, now the value has to be customized.
Right.
Because each person needs something different. Right. Each person needs something different. And depending on what hierarchy each person falls under, that, believe it or not, that plays a part. Right? Because, like, for instance, like, just say for an example, King could easily think that he doesn't matter because he's so far down the topo. Right? So we have to show him, we would have to demonstrate to him that even though he's down there, he's just as valuable as me up top. You see what I'm saying? So when you bring value, you got to customize the value, and you got to find out what each person needs in the family, because we all need something different. We all look for something different, right? Absolutely. So it's almost like love. Like when you go into something, when you're going somewhere, love is selflessness. But we all know how to love, but we don't know how the person needs to be loved.
True. That's good.
Because everybody needs to be loved differently. It's not a hit against me, like, oh, I don't know what love is, and I don't know how to love, but I gotta learn how, like, take for instance, I gotta learn how each sister needs to be loved and wants to be loved.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But, everybody want to be on top, but it's a lot to be on top. It's a lot to be on top. Listen, it ain't no joke up there. I gotta learn how everybody from Dawn down to King, I gotta learn how each one of them need to be loved,
right,
what they need to be loved, and what they're looking for from me.
Right.
Right. And so that's what it does. You add value, but then you have to customize that value for each person.
I get it.
That's good. Let me read this comment, and then Haven and King, I want y'all to jump in. Disciple Spencer, my girl, she's like, sir. Okay, good. Customize your love, people. Customize it. She also said, I like that. How can I add value to your life? I had to learn that. And that really is how and I've shared this before, that I've been divorced for 10 years, and I had to take time out for me. I had to get me together. I had to figure out, like, again, why was I marrying the same spirit with a different face? I had to figure out, like, what is going on in my world? I got to fix me. And when I did that, that's when I came out of it with that concept or that thought of going into it. Because, we've all, I'm going to say this, it is what it is. A lot of us are taught by wounded people.
I was about to.
Yeah. A lot of we're taught by wounded people. So truthfully, we do
badly wounded people too.
Come on,
watch your mouth and keep talking. Watch your mouth.
And
talking.
not only wounded, because you got wounded, and then you see it's a level.
Yikes.
It's wounded, and then it's damaged.
But the thing about it too And those are two good points. Where there is wounded and there is damage. And in either of those positions, it's it's very dangerous because we are being taught at young ages. We're coming up under people that are wounded and damaged. And this is the first experiences that we are learning. So we are building up a resistance to these things and perceiving them as normal when they are not. That this is, the way that it is. When I'm wearing the wound of my mama who was scorned by the man who left her because he slept with, Miss Molly 2 doors down. So now she, hates all men. And so now she hasn't dealt with her wound and her bitterness, or my dad who, was cheated on or whatever, he was used for all his money. Not saying that any of these things is true and happen, but I'm just saying the examples that go on. A man that has been used by the female who might be the gold digger, who's not after him, but after what he has. And so now he's bitter and he's hurt. And now he's not gotten through that. He's still carrying that. So now he's teaching his son at a very young age not to allow a woman into emotional space, into his heart, because all they want is their money, and they are already building up shells so that young men and young women are not even given the chance to enter into relationships and as partnerships, but instead as enemies. And we're looking at all of the things, so then we go into these things being selfish because we go into it with the mentality of what you're going to do for me. And in a sense, I'm so sick of us talking about what you bringing to the table. I don't even want a table no more. I can't. No table. Can we not have a table? Who got I don't even want to see no more tables. Who brought the table? Who even have that? Just like I'm saying. But these are the
I'm
things.
gonna be like Medea and just start sawing all the tables in half.
I'm saying because
and then that's what you have, sis, and then what you have is preconceived thoughts and preconceived behavior. And when I talk like this to people look at me like, no. A lot of our thoughts are not our thoughts. They're thoughts that people gave us. They're thoughts that people planted when we were growing up. So sometimes you have to take a thought and be like, you know what? Hold up. What is it that I want to do? That's what they did back here. That's what he did over here. But what do you want to do? How do you want to handle it? Because a lot of our thoughts and our behaviors are preconceived.
Yeah.
Let me tell
If you don't know any better, I'm sorry. If you don't know any better, if this is all that you've seen, like it takes you to be exposed to something other than. And then when you're exposed to something other than, are you open enough to receive it? Or do you become defensive because it goes against everything that you've ever known? How many of us are so defensive about things that have not even happened? I don't trust the next man in my relationship because of what the last one did, but he ain't that man. He's not that man. Come on, because I'm getting ready to go somewhere. Come on.
I said, so there was I said, I always tell the story, and I heard this story from a lady, and I'm going to tell you guys a story. So the story is, there was a young lady, and her husband, they were cooking, and they were cooking a ham. Well, the young lady, what she did is her husband watched her cut off the back of the ham. And he looked at her cut the back of the ham off, and she was about to throw it away. And he said, well, why would you do that? Why did you cut the back of the ham off and you throw it away? And you're about to throw it away. And she says, well, I don't know. I saw mama do it. Well, he called her mom. And when he called her mom, she asked her mama, well, mama, why did you cut the back of the ham off when I was a little girl? Because to this day, I still cut it off. So why did you cut it off? And she said, well, I don't know. I cut it off because Medea cut it off.
Right.
Medea happened to still be alive. So she called Medea and she said, Medea.
Now we 3 generations back.
There we go. Why did you cut
the
back of the ham off? Because I want to know. I always saw you do that. What do y'all think Medea said?
I did it because my mother did it.
Well, she
No,
don't even remember. Or Mister didn't like the back. Maybe you know.
no, that's not it. She cut the back off because she didn't have a pan big enough to fit the whole ham.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
So it had nothing to do with the ham.
Wow.
Nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with it. And we follow a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to go, here's a transparent moment for me. When I first got married, I was 22 years old. At 22 years old, the only thing I knew how to do is what I saw from my mom and my dad. My mom and dad got married really young. I think my mom and dad were married when she was 17. And they're still married today, but she was 17. All she knew from her mom was what she did. So
Mm-hmm.
she knew to make sure she took care of the house. She knew to make sure she catered to my dad. My dad never ate on the glass plate. He never drunk out of plastic. Never ate from styrofoam or whatever. That was stuff that I saw. She catered to my dad. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I watched my mom neglect herself for years.
Right.
I watched her be selfless at her own detriment for
Right.
years.
Because it can be harmful. Yes.
Yeah, it can be. And I
Yep.
watched it, and guess what I did going into the marriage?
Did the
I
same
The
did
thing.
same
that.
thing.
I worked myself to empty being
Mm-hmm.
22,
Mm-hmm.
4 kids by the time I was 24. I watched it. So and because I did that, I emulated that same behavior. And to me, that became toxic after a while, because
Mm-hmm.
not only was I trying to figure out who I was trying to figure out help 4 children figure out who they were,
Right.
while my husband was trying to figure out who he was. And we was trying to be selfless for each other.
Right.
And at times we were selfish,
Right.
so just like you said, it's a real thin line. Like I saw something that says, according to research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, relationships where one partner gives more than they receive can lead to emotional imbalance and dissatisfaction.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh.
And
Yep.
especially that can lead to me looking at you 20 years later trying to figure out, how did we get here?
Right.
Because the person that you married years ago may not be the same person now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's everything evolves. Everything evolves. And even with being selfish and being selfless, I think that you want to be, when it comes to you making sure you take care of you, honestly, that is selfish. That's something that you should do. That's the selfish, that you got to take care of yourself. You can't be anything for anybody else if you don't take care of you. So maybe if you want to say that that's the selfish thing, then that's going to have to be selfish, because I can't be anything for you. That's like when you on a plane. I got to put my mask on and I got to get the oxygen first, because I can't help you if I'm dead. So if I got to be selfish in that way, then I have to be selfish, because I need to make sure that I can take care of me so we can take care of us, which it
Right.
should be the same way. Okay, that's it.
No,
This
that's
is
good.
why. This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important that we self-educate. And when I mean self-educate, I don't mean no education in school and college is no good. But we have to have an open mind and an open heart. We got to continue to learn and continue to grow. Right? Because just even the good things we learned. What I learned back in the 70s is not going to help me now.
Right.
Because we're in a different era, we're in a different time. Right? So we have to always look to continue to read, continue to research, continue to learn. And then you have to have an open mind. If you have a closed mind, you're gonna always forever hear what grandma and grandpa and papa, you're gonna always hear what they're saying. because the voices in your mind is louder than the words that's on the paper. And you have to have an open mind because, and we got to stop being satisfied where we're at all the time. Well, this is what it meant to be. If God wanted me to be better emotionally, He would have made. No, it's work you got to do.
Correct.
He put
Right.
all of this literature. I mean, it is so much. You got CDs, MPB, MP3. See, it's so many stuff you can't. I can't get them out. With so much stuff that you
Correct.
can learn from
There's
today.
always some
It ain't
tool.
funny. I know King got off the camera. He laughed. I know he laughed. It's okay.
Excuse me, babe.
But
You know he's
but
doing
but the
stuff.
thing about it is we gotta keep educating ourselves, and we gotta still iron sharpens iron. We gotta still come together and work with one another.
That iron got to be sharp in order to sharpen somebody else, though.
Yep,
True. But
that's
So
true.
if you're not sharp on the certain thing, then you got to take those selfish moments to get, like Rod said, get self educated,
Mm-hmm.
get the knowledge, get the understanding, be willing and open to learn first, because you can't teach somebody that ain't willing to learn.
true.
So you got to have the open mind. You got to be receptive and know that the person not coming for you or whoever it is not attacking you but trying to teach. Now there are people who attack and approach things the wrong way. That's different. But don't be so on defense all the time, in order to be able to receive these things. And I think it's so key what everyone is saying, is saying a lot of good points. But something that stuck out was what Haven was talking about, how you subconsciously just do certain things because you just seen somebody else do it. I watched my I didn't have a father in the home, so the examples I had of men were my godfather, my uncles, and my grandpa before he passed. So what I seen them do, and I'm pretty sure Rock can attest to this, grew up in that era where a man ain't supposed to cry, a man ain't supposed to show emotion. We all been through that season where we're taught that men just don't do certain things, and then you get later on down the line, and you realize that those times not these times now, and that us as men we have to tap into those certain places because especially if we're gonna be with somebody, we have to be emotionally available and have the emotional intelligence to because without that you can't effectively
Emotionally
communicate between each
intelligent.
other.
Yes,
You can't effectively communicate because you don't even know what it is that you're feeling. You don't even know how to process what you're feeling because you're still stuck in that mindset. Oh, I ain't supposed to be like this. So you suppress it. And that's why so many men and even some women have the issue of communication because we're taught ineffective communication. And it could not even be their fault. It might be what they were taught.
Yep.
And
Right.
then someone taught them that.
that's right.
So you just have to be um vigilant of what's going on and just it's okay to switch it up and most times going to be for the better, especially when you enter in a relationship because it's no more only about you,
Right,
especially if you're
that's
going to
right.
be married, especially if you're going to be married to somebody. It has to be two in one. Both of these people have to effectively move together. That way you're moving in the same direction and you can still have those differences in opinions and views. You can still bring those together, because new ain't nothing wrong with a new perspective.
That's right.
Right.
You may need it down the line. It may not be, I guess, effective to you right now, but I know it's things even not even in marriage, just in maybe a work relationship. It's things that my mother taught me years ago that I'm just now using. Things that the men that I learned from, that God brought to my remembrance that I started to implement into my life. So when dealing with relationships in general, an open mind to me is the key thing because it's like I think Dawn has said it. I want to be able to learn from this person, and then learn from me. Like the give and take is not a bad thing all the time.
Yeah, it
It
has
can
to
be
be
used in a bad way. It has to be used in the right way. I pick your brain, you pick mine. How can we pick each other's brains to work for each other? It's just a lot of things that you have to take into consideration when thinking about that, to where you don't become selfish and only making it about yourself, like doing, I forget who said it, but you're making it about yourself, and it's about what I feel and what I want, you know, but you have that sense of selflessness to where you're available to that person to give of yourself to them as they give to you. And then it's okay for both of y'all to be selfish, be like, look, right now it's about us and nobody else.
Right.
That's the
Right.
kind of selfishness I'm talking about. Right. That's some good stuff right there. I love
Because
that.
that's really where you're gonna build, because you realize at the end of the day, it's us two that's in this. No one else is here with us. Like it's us and God. So as God leads us, then then the man, takes his place where he's supposed to. The woman take her place where she's supposed to. It comes together, and it works the way it's supposed to for each other. Don't mean like
Right.
what Haven's parents did is going to work in her marriage,
Right.
because her husband's a different
Right.
person than her father,
Correct.
and she's a different person than her mother. So you have to realize and recognize what works for the both of y'all, and not what. Now, I'm not saying that it's not certain things that maybe her mother did that she still does that works for her husband,
Hmm.
because I think every woman and every man has a basis of how they operate, right?
Of course.
But then using their own characteristics, their own how they are as a person, and implementing it to the relationship.
Okay, before we go further, I just want to read some comments. That was amazing, Share King, and I have a few. I hope y'all getting y'all comments together to rebuttal. But I want to read these. Not really rebuttal, but to add. To
Yes.
add, we're
Yes.
building. We building it, y'all. We
Hey,
building.
rebuttal sounds so bad, doesn't it?
I had
I
to take
know.
it out. I'm
I
sorry, I
know.
was in debate mode. I forgot I wasn't at work no more. I have to, because I rebuttal with a lot of.
Ah,
It's been that kind of day, so I take it out of my mind. Forgive me, y'all. So in the comment section, Disciple Spencer says, "Work on yourself." That was some point that Rock was making before, about making sure that you are tending to you. In it all. And Haven also mentioned, like, you are no good for anyone else until you become good for yourself. And
Correct.
that's part of the reason why we have these conversations, is
mhm.
because again, we want to have real talk, real resolutions, a place for us to glean from one another so that we can be better. Every day I want to show up as the best version of myself in whatever
Right.
space that I'm in, and we need to have spaces where we can have these kind of conversations, um, and be better. Let's see. Disciples also says so true. Um,
I like
oh,
that
she's
comment she had before.
talking about she's talking about the comment, the
Because the
story.
ham was too
Because
big.
the ham was too big for the pan. Mighty God. And then my
The ham
mama,
was.
she says,
Come on, mama.
yeah, come on, mom. Y'all know I'm super biased. A super selfishness.
Wow.
I, I don't care. I don't care.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Care.
Go on.
I don't care.
Sometimes people need it.
Selfishness, a person will show remorse, but narcissism is a disorder that has a deep measure, self-consumption without remorse. That's
I.
good. It's good, mommy. She is
She said what she said.
she's well learned. She's getting her doctorate right now, and
Come on.
yeah,
Come
she's
on,
at like
mama.
92,
Doctorate. Come on, doctor.
2 degrees. That there's a small third world country that has no
So
education
so it's
because she
not mama, it's Dr. Mama.
is
Okay,
Dr.
okay, we
Mama.
got you.
Is
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Dr.
Right.
Mama.
Th-
That's what the
I'm
spirit
Yeah,
proud
just
of
let
told
me
me.
correct
The
myself.
spirit just
Right.
told
Let
me
me
Dr.
correct
Mama.
myself.
I mean, this just came
Let
down.
me.
This just came
her.
down. It just came
Just
down.
It just
kidding.
Dr.
came. It
Mama.
came down to change just
It
now.
just came down. Dr. Mama.
Yeah, I'm
Doctor
following
Mama.
right behind. Following right
All
behind
right.
her. Um, But thank you for everyone sharing so far. And mommy, that was really good. And she was going back to when Rock was also mentioning about those differences, that fine line between selfishness and narcissism, that we don't really identify. So welcome everyone. It's Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. We are having love talk in the month of February, and I'm so excited because I got me Familia up here on the panel with me on tonight. And hopefully they'll be chiming in with me all month because I really need us to get to the last Thursday in February for the love game, so the game of
Yeah,
love.
because I think little bro needs some support, so I'll be back on. Yeah, he needs some. Yeah, he needs some. He needs some encouragement.
We gonna have to.
You see how more solid he was tonight when he Big Brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he pumped his chest up a little. Yeah, yeah, because what
don't,
selfishness
don't
is.
do it. Don't do it. It's love. We talk about love. We talk about love. It's brother love, and they are at the total. They start and end the family. So it's Rock, and then it is King, and then there's five of us girls in the middle. So but it's love, and it's love some more.
Because Rock, if we're not on the same page, we can't keep them together.
We not. But King, you said some great. Oh, come on with the fireworks in the back. King, you said some. Well, Rocky said some great things, and King, you also said some great things. One of the things that you were talking about why we are doing repeating habits and things is cycles. It's cycles that need to be broken. We are cycling what our parents did, but it's no longer effective. Like Rock was saying, can't do in the 90s. What I did in the 90s, I can't necessarily do now. It's not applicable, and you can take the principle of what was given then, because the principle is still good. But how I apply it and express it now is totally different. And that's how it should be, I believe, in love and in relationships, because the core of marriage is the same. It is the same, but what it looks like, how we express that, looks different for everybody. There are no two marriages the same at all. Disciple says, I'm in the season where I come first. Now,
Stay there as long as you need to.
you made a very good point about it being about us. And that being selfish, like that's a good form of selfishness when it's in the relationship or the marriage. Like, it's me and you. I'm very much a person who is like, it's me and you against the world. I'm big on team us in relationships. Like, I don't care what nobody else says. I ain't even thinking about your opinion because it's yours. It's not mine. That's yours. Again, I'll say it. The opinion is not mine. It's yours. So you can have that. So I don't worry about it. I'm like, what's going on in my inner core between me and mine? That's between me and mine. I'll never expect for you to see in him or her what I see in him or her. You're not supposed to, because what I see in him or her is for me to see. That's what makes it different and special. That's what locks us in. You see his surface, I see his inner core. So you're never going to understand. You're going to get it, and nor should you, because that's intimate space. There's a vision and a view that only I have about him and he has about me that no one else can see. And even if you see it, do you have the capacity and the know-how to manage and expand it, to care for it and to grow it? This is why in Team Me, as I like it to call it, selfishness is a form of protection, because we can't have outside people and voices coming into our inner space, interjecting toxicity. And they may not even mean to be toxic,
and sometimes even if they're right, you still can't have it.
That's good.
You can't.
And sometimes even when they're right, you still can't have it.
Right, because it's right for you.
Yeah.
It's right for me. Another thing I wanted to mention, Haven talked about self-care. She's very adamant about that. And like Disciple was saying, work on yourself. She's in the season of where I come first, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people perceive that season as selfish.
Yes.
To be clear, it is self-care is only selfish to those people who are selfish themselves.
Right. That's right.
If they don't see that what I'm doing is to better me, then I have to question how you love me or where that love is coming from. If it's one-sided love, I don't need that. Like you can have that. It can be love, but you can have that. No, thank you. I'm a pass. I need you to love me while I'm loving me. I need you to love the fact that I'm loving me. I need you to embrace the fact that I'm saying, like, babe, I need a minute to myself. I need a little. Uh-oh, Mama T is in the building. She says, y'all
What's up?
hey, Mama.
Mama!
Lord Jesus.
Now, Rock, what is this stuff you doing now? Why mine ain't doing it? Oh, because I'm on my Mac.
Go ahead. Right. Self-care is selfish, but it's a positive. It is a good form of selfishness.
Should do
But
Why
it's
she trying to be like us? Why she trying?
because my Mac
I'm
should
sorry.
do it, right?
Family
'Cause I'm
meeting.
on a
Family
Mac.
meeting.
My
I'm
Mac
sorry.
should do it.
right. Family meeting. Family meeting. Mama
Right,
T,
okay.
hey.
I'm just
And
Mama,
Mama T back on TikTok, y'all. Woo.
no.
no.
Oh yeah, I
She's
saw that earlier. Yeah, I saw that earlier. She said I was
I'm
playing with it and
sorry.
I got back on.
here. But we here. There you go. But we glad you back, Mama T. I was going with y'all. Y'all already went anyway. All right, I'm back. So, my mama, y'all call her Dr. Mama. She says, Pastor says, it's good to be selfish to a degree because we have to set boundaries. It sets boundaries to protect ourselves. Absolutely. And this is where I'm going to pause right there because I want to just say, this is where the selflessness can become dangerous because this is where we give too much of ourselves to the point we have nothing else. That's why I say what's in the cup is for you. What's in the saucer is for others. If I pour out what I have in my cup, then I'm without while you are full and you can't pour back into my cup because you could only reach to the saucer level. But that's another story. I'm gonna leave that right there. It's been good to be here with. Oh, she said it's been good to be here with y'all, but homework call us. Okay, go on, woman of God. Good night, y'all. Mama was dropping her gems, and she said she out. Shit, that doctor is.
See you later, Dr. Mama.
The doctor is calling her. Disciple Spencer says, say it loud for the people in the back. Okay, I'm saying loud for the people in the back. I'm called to the people in the front, but I'm saying loud for the people in the back. So again, it's important that you do set those boundaries to protect yourself because what is in the cup is for you and what's in the saucer is what you give to others. If you give from your cup, and we did this show one time, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if I keep pulling out of my cup what I need and no one there, you can't possibly fill back up my cup when you're trying to drink from my saucer because you can't reach it. So if I empty my cup, then we're both in bad shape. Then who's going to? I'm just saying. I'm going to leave that right there.
That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff.
That was a bar. Wow.
Every now and then. Rock mentioned about availability. I love how he broke down.
You know, she's next in line, so I gotta bring her up right.
I'm glad you're doing it. You're doing something.
She got to take over. You know, she got it.
Right. I'm just saying, this is what it is, you know. But Rock mentioned also availability in us being selfish, not selfish, and selfless. And I love how you broke it down because we don't think about these other spaces of availability. And I'm gonna touch on that because also King brought up something that is key and detrimental. Disciple, yes, exactly. She said, "Who helps the helper when the helper needs help? Nobody." What happens is the helper will run on empty because we are accustomed to running on empty because we know how to refill. We know how to run on fumes, which is not good. We know how to run on fumes until we can refill ourselves. We know what we did before to refill ourselves, and so we go back and we'll do it again, but that is not healthy, and that is not how relationships are supposed to work. And this is where I say you got to be mindful of what station you are pulling up to in the midst of that, because every station cannot fill me up. Every relationship, every man, every woman cannot give you what you need. And especially in these spaces, like Rock was talking about, availability, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of the leads. what you need to consider these things while we in really all of the leads. That's right,
All
all
the
of,
leaves.
All the
All the
leads.
leaves.
and it partners with what King was saying about, and this is where a little sidebar, ladies, y'all might get mad, but you can't kick me out the ladies club because I'm born female and I'm gonna stay here forever. But help us get us right. But King was talking about the fact that when we're cycling these things that we were taught, about how men were taught like you can't cry, real men don't cry, boys don't cry. And so then men grow up not being emotionally intelligent because they cannot, by no fault of their own, but you were never taught how to identify what you're feeling in that moment and how
Mm-hmm.
to express it, how to navigate through it. And then you have the man on top of that who is now emotionally unavailable because he was not taught to recognize those feelings, so he doesn't know how to reciprocate those feelings. And we, as women, have to be very mindful and very careful. Now, as a single mom of a boy, I raised my son and I would tell him, you can cry. It's okay to cry. I never told him he can't cry. I said, you can't cry all day.
Thank you for doing that.
You
Or all
can't.
the time.
You can't cry for an
Yeah,
hour.
all the time. Too
Like,
much is crazy.
you definitely can cry. Oh, that hurt. Does it hurt? Is hurt what you're feeling? Tell me what you're feeling. And if he couldn't articulate it, I would throw some words out there until he gave me an idea of like, that's what this. Okay, so say I'm hurt. Say that this hurts, so that he understood how to put language to it. Because I wanted him to be emotionally intelligent and be able to be emotionally available. And women, sometimes we become we we make it worse with our men. And again, this is a part of being selfish as well as selfless, part of the conversation. We make it worse with our men because we don't give them the safe space to be patient with them through this, even as grown men, understanding that they were never given the opportunity to register these feelings.
And you know something else too, sis?
Yeah.
A lot of times, and that what you said is great. And also, there's a difference between venting and emotionally dumping. And a
That's
lot of
good.
times people are just emotionally dumping. And with our lot when we're thinking and you start emotionally dumping, well, I start tuning out because it's like the dumpster's out here. I mean, you could throw all that in the dumpster. I mean, I'm not the dumpster. Because then, you just so but because when you're venting, you stating points and facts.
Preach.
A, B, and C is going on. We need to do E, F, G to take care. You know what I'm saying? We need to take care of this stuff. But when you emotionally dump, you all over the place. You come in here, you talk about what happened today. You talk about what happened 20 years ago. You talk about when the kids were small. You talk about, and it's just all over the place, right? So you just gotta bring it in.
Yeah, you do. You do. You have to know the difference, and it's okay. And when we have to be patient, and again, this is where we have to then become selfless because we have to not do the but what about me? But
Yes.
because we fall to that, and this is not a what about me time. This is it's his turn, and I need to be able to help him navigate even as a grown man, and don't let it take away from the man that he is. You are still that man.
Yes.
Still that guy. You are still that dude. You are still, you still him, in my eyes. And I think it even becomes, even for me, that makes you even more of him when you're able to, when we're able to have that connection in that space, because that shows trust. And it shows, number one, it shows that you trust me, and number two, it shows me that I am now using the capacity that I've been given for you. And a lot of times we feel useless in relationships because we are not exercising that gift in us to create those spaces for you, and we have to be knowing that our time will come. If I built him up, I promise you that man gonna love you. I was gonna say he's gonna love you down. He's gonna do it. As soon as he get himself back, he was like, yo, that girl, like she just let me cry. He was like, I'm gonna kiss your whole face off before the day is over,
Hmm.
and that's what you want.
And
That's
it's
where
not, and it's not, and it's not only just about crying. It's being able to express
Vulnerability.
yourself. It's being able to make that connection emotionally.
Hmm.
It's okay. Like me myself, I'm not a crier. I'm not a crier, but all of y'all know I do express. Right. So,
yeah,
Hmm.
but the thing about it is you gotta just express yourself. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness when you don't. It takes strength because when you express yourself, you make yourself vulnerable. And
right.
people don't like, and especially men, they don't like to be feel vulnerable.
Right.
And truthfully,
Because a lot of times it'll be used in a way to where it'll be used against us later. But when you find that space to where you realize it's not going to be used against you,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna be able to do that, and the response is gonna be to help build you. There's a difference. Because the reason why a lot of men don't like to be vulnerable because the response of it is the wrong is not the response that we want.
It's
But
not
when we
nurturing.
get that good response, right, when we're being torn down because we thought we could trust you enough to be that vulnerable around you,
Yes.
Right.
and now it's like I said, a pastor that said it before, when a man when a man expresses vulnerability and he called it, you pretty much shut that door. You'll never hear the full story from us ever again. That
Mm-hmm.
trust
yep.
is cut, and you'll never. It'll take God Himself in order for us to be able to be that way around you again, because now you severed that place for us to where my vulnerability is safe. It's not going to be used in the wrong way. So when we find that space to where we're able to be vulnerable, it's just key that the response is always, to uplift, to build,
Hmm.
to show, even if you don't understand what he's going through, to empathize. It's not always about because some of the stuff that men feel, everybody may not be able to understand. Just like the feelings that women have, some of those feelings men are not going to be able to understand. But we're able to have that space to where you can still express yourself and help me learn what it is that you're feeling. Even if I can't feel
Right.
it myself, help me to know the thought process, what causes it, and how can we prevent it from happening again.
Mm.
Good. Come on, Haven. Come on in here and
With them glasses, I see you.
Come on, kiddo. Cause you wearing them glasses, girl. You sure
I
is.
don't, man. Listen, I
Big
got
bro
two
like
left.
them glasses.
That
You
I,
know she got, you know she
got.
got 500 pairs. So
Why you got to show off? I'm gonna,
you know,
I'm
Now
gonna.
she ain't bothering nobody. Don't get her started, cause she get her started. I ain't gonna stop her now.
you're
So
right.
leave her
let's
I'm
alone.
sorry. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. I'm sorry.
I think we are. First of all, the timing that we are in is a lot different, and I know you said that earlier. Um I think I heard all of you guys mention. I'll kind of piggyback off the timing being so different, and
Hmm.
what we can say is selfish may not look like that to everybody else. And
mhm.
what we
Hmm.
might say is selfless might not look like that to everybody else, especially in this generation.
Hmm.
Um, I'm finding while living in the house with my grown kids that um, the way my husband and I operate. So transparent moment. Um, I heard my daughter say something to me the other day, and she said that um, so one of the things that my husband and I intentionally did, and I want to say our entire marriage is we really try to talk about everything. Okay. And we try to talk about everything. And the times that we are too emotional to talk about everything, and we know it's going to come out the bag crazy, then we go in our room and we talk about it in our room. But it's not something that we do in front of our children because we think that there's
Hmm.
things that your children don't need to be privy to.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This generation don't do it like that.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
They do it wide open. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that my daughter mentioned to me is she felt like when it came to her handling disputes in a relationship, that we didn't really equip her with that because we looked like we were a bed of roses to them because we didn't show them that growth in a relationship. We didn't show them that. So I guess I'm saying that to say that, like Dawn said, how selfless and selfish looks in every relationship, it looks different. I think self-care always going. I'm gonna keep saying that self-care is gonna always look the same.
Hmm.
Always look the same. You need to take care of yourself. You can't be nothing to nobody else, or you can't be nothing to nobody until you make sure you take care of you. It's gonna be the same for me. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
always say that because I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah,
Transparent moment. I had to learn that the hard way, and I'm gonna say it. I had
ma'am.
to learn it the hard way because I spent most of my years taking care of everybody.
Whew.
Blood pressure through the roof, taking care of everybody, not caring about me, making sure everybody had what they need. I've always done that. So if we want to get in purpose on purpose, we need to make sure we take care of us.
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
selfish to do that. That's
Nope.
First,
not
In
selfish.
purpose, on purpose. Wow.
Yes, and you have to make sure that when you do that, that you are with a partner that understands that. And hopefully that is you have a partner that not only understands that they're doing the same thing too, because it's important. That's called building a dream team.
come on.
We are in a time where just like we talk about in the family, man, when I tell you the attacks is real, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not coming from one place, man. They coming from everywhere. They can't get to you. They gonna start knocking down everything around you.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm saying, like, we gotta be you better take care of yourself, because that's taking care of yourself is not just a physical thing. It's
No.
physical, it's spiritual, it's
Yep.
emotional. Matter of fact, let's start with this. Your emotional can unalive all of the rest of them.
Yep. That
Your
is true.
emotional can take you out. So
It's a
you
fact.
gotta take care of it and listen. So even with being when you talk about being selfless, like I was looking at something, and I'm always like I'm a research fanatic. I'm always researching something,
Oh
and it was
yes. Oh
talking about
yes.
how when you are being selfless, it says that you for
Mm-hmm.
one you
Don't
genuinely
play. Don't
care
play with me
about
either, boy.
someone else. You genuinely care about their needs. You're empathetic to their needs. You make sure, and I hear this, like you rarely find, and I you hate to say it that way, but you rarely find that someone is so, because you could be selfless to a point, but you are not God. You gotta always kill that flesh, because I'm telling you, and your flesh gonna always say, I want a man, but let me give you an example. Let me give you a selfish example, right? And it's not to you, it doesn't seem like that. But it is. To you, it's I just gotta have this moment by myself. Let me give an example. When my kids was little, I'm so used to stopping for 4 kids and a husband that when I got time and I got away, if I passed by, and this is back when the food was actually real, it tasted good. If I passed by a Burger King and a Whopper actually tasted good, I would stop and I would get me a meal, y'all, and I would pull over because I got a chance to eat something by myself.
Myself, yes. Yes. I would listen. I'd be ready to lick the inside of the
I'm telling
bag
you, because I
just
got a
because I
chance to do
could.
something by
Just
myself.
because,
I didn't have to have.
Eating
Listen, I
something
know
you want.
it sounds crazy. I'm
That's
telling
real.
you, King,
Chewing all the ice. It was-
I didn't have to give a fry. I didn't have to worry about rattling the bag and the whole crew come in.
Yep.
on.
It sounds
I
like
feel you on that. Oh
it's
yeah.
It's
about
real. It's hard to do potato chips silently, right?
right.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying,
Right.
you know,
Right.
that
They
is
hear the
a
crunch and
selfish
everything.
thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I've definitely purposely parked around the corner
I'm telling you, but
before
you
I
get
got
what
home.
I'm saying. Like there are some
So,
things that, you know. So
What?
we can say that we all the way. We can say we all the way selfless.
I would come in the house and I have my the next to the baby daughter.
oh,
I would come in the house. Anytime I came in the house late from work with a bag, the first thing I don't get a hi dad, how you doing or nothing. Dad, if you don't finish that, can I get the rest of it? I
Right.
haven't even sat down to eat yet. I'm like, what are you talking about? You didn't eat dinner? No. Yeah,
And
but
then
Dad,
they
you
look
know I'm gonna
so
eat all your
hurt when
food. You know
you.
I'm gonna eat it all.
Then they look so hurt when you actually eat all of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like you really. Yes. You said
But
if I don't.
I had five daughters. They work. They work.
See,
And like,
I don't know if it was the military in me. I just know how to say no and keep stuff for myself. I don't know.
Oh no. I know how to say no. Oh, they'll
Oh,
tell
I
you
know
I know
you
how to
do.
say no. Yeah.
I know
But
you do.
you gotta use wisdom when you got all these women though. You just can't you gotta use wisdom. You
yeah, but
got me.
just expecting you have to not
Hey,
expect.
you don't
yeah,
want
I
to.
can't I don't manage these sisters because I ain't got no
Hey,
wisdom and knowledge and understanding.
I'm trying to tell
Right
you.
about that. You're right about that. You keep the peace.
Hey,
You got to have wisdom and understanding when you do it. And that's no hit
Yeah.
against them. You just got to know what you're doing.
yeah,
Or they'll wreck you, man. They'll wreck you.
I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, but you just gotta, there's times when I'm just saying, it ain't gonna always be 100% selfless. You have your moments, but it comes with being selfless. Also comes with prioritizing. You gotta prioritize. That comes with prioritizing. Um, like when I move, especially as a married woman, I'm always thinking about the bigger picture.
Yep.
I'm always thinking about
Me too. Yep.
the whole.
Yep.
That
Always.
comes with
Yep.
being selfless. You
Yep.
you think about what the bigger picture looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I can say I'm going to do something, or like for instance, you want to if I'm on the way home and I want to pick up something, I'm not going to just pick up for me. I'm going to pick up for everybody just because
Right.
that's just my
That's the
thought process.
mindset.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so used to thinking that way,
Hmm.
or even having a nonprofit, you think about how you can help someone. That's your first thought, but it all comes with a balance. It all comes with a balance,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like this whole conversation is about finding the balance. Like it's about finding the balance. Like it has to be. It
Hmm.
has to be a balance.
Balance is good. Balance is good.
I remember balance, and I've said this before, and I think that is so good. Thank you, Haven, because that's amazing shares. And I hope y'all have enjoyed this conversation on tonight. Trust me, this is the first that you've seen of some of them, but it is not the last that you will see. Get used to seeing these faces because it's on and pop in 2025. Because I'm up with my family in the building, okay? But one thing I say about balance is, you know, balance and equal are two different things, and you
Yes.
understand that in order to balance something, it could be 60-40. That's balanced,
Yep.
but not equal. So when you're considering what is selfish versus selfless, understand sometimes it's going to look like that 60-40. But the point is you do what you need to do so that you can get to the love, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the main thing. You do what you have to do in order to keep the love. If you value that love,
Mhm,
if you cherish that love, if you invested in that love, do what you need to do,
mhm,
and be mindful that perspective can sometimes, or oftentimes, affects. how
Oh
we view
yes.
things as self.
Yes. Yes.
Someone is really just trying to be selfless. There are misunderstandings that come, where my mindset is that, you know, um, Haven made me realize something, and then I want us to have final comments. I want to ask a question, have final comments, and I'm going to read something. But Haven made me really think of something that I had to really take self reflection on when I was after my divorce or going through my, I don't know when it was, but in just doing my self evaluation, I tend to shut down and I'll stop talking. And when I get cold, I mean, if you know me, you know I am loving, warm, bubbly, all that, like I just want everybody to feel all right and good. But there's another side to me that is just as equally deep, but it's cold. So when I shut off, like ain't no two ways about it. It's completely off and it don't come back on. And I was like that in my relationships and I was not talking. I stopped talking. And when Haven said about that being selfish because not communicating is a
Hmm.
selfish act.
Yes.
And now I felt convicted. I'm like, oh man, now I might have to go apologize.
Especially if you're doing it for a period of time, like for a moment, maybe, but a period of time, yes.
My that was my normal. Like I would turn off in a minute. I'll shut down. Nope, I won't talk about it. Just and just be done, and not even give the opportunity in that space, and not thinking of it as me being selfish. I was thinking
Hmm.
of it as me. That's just me. That's how I am, and that's that. But not realizing then more so, or being more mindful of how I was making the person that I said to love feel. Now I just said I'm all about team me, but I was self-destructive
Mm.
in that I wasn't protecting and secure. I wasn't showing up in team us. It was team me, you know. And that is a wake up call for me. And I mean, I've corrected that behavior since then. I do not shut down, even when I feel myself wanting to. I I'm aware of my triggers, and I'm like, nope, don't do it. Can't do it. You gotta talk about it. Even if it's step by step, even if it's give me a minute. I just need a moment to process. I want to share, and find that space. But we have to learn how to not not be selfish in those ways because it affects our partners, it affects who we're with, it affects our relationship, and it then becomes self-destructive from the inside. So thank you for that for tonight, because it really made me think about it. I'm like, dang, I really was like that. Like I did that. That's what I did, and
Hmm.
did not think of it as selfish. Like I was really okay with it. Like, bruh, if you don't like it, okay. I'm sorry you're not liking it. You haven't liked a lot of things. You're gonna not like some other things. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, I would like. What you want me to do? I feel my feelings. Your feelings are yours. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But we're reformed now. We're better. I'm good now. But I just want to thank you. So like, I'm good now, y'all. I'm good. I don't do that no more. The things I used to do, I don't do no more. I think it's been a great opening conversation that has helped us to begin to peel those layers of how we think about being selfish and showing up selflessly in love. And if someone is showing up for you in a selfless way, please, ma'am, please, sir, do not take it for granted. Please, ma'am, please, sir. Treat them with care, with grace, guard it and protect it.
Yep.
Because once that person is damaged in that space, you will never get that same version of them again.
Ever.
And you are leaving them with an open wound that they now have to figure out how to heal and
You
how
can't
to
even
build.
fix that wound.
Yeah, when a bone is broken,
You
it
can't
makes
fix it. You can't
it
fix a wound that you caused
Yeah.
right. It'll never be the
because
same.
it's like it's like it's different with if you hurt yourself, then a doctor has to step in and fix that wound, right? So It's like it takes a lot more to fix than it takes a lot more to heal a wound than it is to fix it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It takes longer for a wound to heal than it does for it to go away. So when you damage somebody, think about now you have started a process that makes it harder for them to, use or go down that avenue. If my arm is broke, I can't use that arm the same way for a long time. So now you've broken this. I can't use you the same way. I can't look at you the same. My arm is working different now. Our relationship is going to be different now. So that wound, this brokenness is going to take a long time to fully get back to where it's supposed to be. It's
Right.
easy to damage. It's hard to heal.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. So true. All right. I want to thank everybody again for coming on and sharing. And this just opening layers, guys. We're gonna revisit this topic again. We can't get it all in one night. But at least we can start to, break the ground, start to loosen it up a little bit. Just get people thinking a little bit more about how we need to show up in relationships. Number one, how you need to show up for yourself, and number two, how you need to show up with the people that we say we love and we care about. So
Yes.
I want to
Hmm.
go around and give everybody an opportunity to give their final comments and thoughts. Again, the definition. Thank you all, Bravo Nation, for showing up. Even those in the silent sections, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. It ain't over just yet. We just gonna wrap up this part of the conversation, and I'm gonna come back and tell you what's still yet to come because February is not over. But keep in mind that selfishness is defined as lacking consideration for others, concern for why do I keep doing that? Lacking consideration for others, concern with one's own personal profit or pleasure, and selfless is being concerned more with the needs and wishes of others than one owns self. Both of these things are actions that we need to consider and be mindful of how we are expressing and using them. It's okay. There are times when it's okay to be selfish, and there are times when selflessness is not considered a good thing. So keep that in mind. So come on, we're gonna go Haven, then we're gonna go King, and then we're gonna go Rock to have our final comments, and then I'm gonna come and wrap it up for you guys.
All right, I'm gonna be quick, and I'm just gonna say that in Charleston, we have Geechee Gullah, right? And there is, instead of saying the word here, we say ya. Okay, so it's my cousin gave a sermon, and she said she was talking about the binyas. So that's the people who've been here. And so you said something, Dawn, and you said, because that's just how I am. When I tell you that could be a relationship unaliver.
We're not on TikTok. We're not on TikTok, baby. You can say it.
I know that could be a relationship killer. When you listen, whenever y'all hear me say Benya, then Benya mean you don't want her to be here no more. We sick of her. She need to go away. Cause just
Oh.
because that's how you always been, don't mean that's how you need to be.
Right.
Mm,
No.
It's not okay. It's not okay in a relationship. And when
Well,
it
people are
comes to being
stubborn. Yeah.
selfless and being selfish, Benya need to go.
True
That's all I
indeed.
got.
True indeed. Thank you for being here. Oh, she's gone. There's a new girl in town. She's much better.
Yes.
We like her. We love her, in
Yes.
fact.
Yes.
Come on, King. Come on and
Keep a
share.
pastel. Go ahead.
Chief Apostle. Hey.
you know what? Uh, it really ain't much to say. That's already been said. I feel like a lot was covered. A lot was brought to the surface that needed to be. Um, I like how real we are. Um, because the one thing, if you can't be real with the person you with, something wrong.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the use of being married to somebody you used to got to put a front on for?
Can't do it.
It's useless. It's damaging to yourself, to the other person. Um, so when we're talking about selfless and selfishness, just be real about what state you're in, and be real about what it takes to get to where you need to be, and then be willing to put in the work for yourself in order to be better, because it's not only just for you, it's for your kids if you have it, the other person if you have it, or for the person or the children that's to come. So it's always good to have these characteristics because, like we say, there's a good way to be selfish, there's a bad way to be selfish. Um, but selflessness, just don't, just please don't make it to where it's a bad thing because it's hard to recover from that. It's
That's
hard
good.
to pour, like I think it was going to say, it's hard to pour into an empty cup.
Yep. Yeah, because you
It
can't reach
takes,
the top.
it's, be, well, let me say this. An empty cup can get full, but a broken cup can't get full.
True that.
Because I can fill this up. No, it ain't no holes in it. It just need a little bit of put some love in there, whatever it needs, and it's in a condition to where it can be full, right? It's able to receive what's being poured in. But if I got a glass that's broken, I got holes in it, you try to pour into it, it's gonna go right back out. You're in no position to receive or be poured into because you still gotta fix yourself in order, like you said, you got to do the self work now in order to be in a position to where now I can receive what you're saying. I can receive it. You can pour into me. It's going to be used in the right way, and I can retain what you're pouring into me. So I think that's the main thing because we always say an empty cup can't get full. It can. It's just the broken ones that can't get full.
That's good. That's good. So he's saying, y'all, listen up. Be the cup that can get filled, but don't be the cup that leaks.
I'm trying to get all philosophical at the end.
Come on, big bro. Come on.
He's
Come
trying to sound all, trying to go out with a bang.
Wow. Okay. I was just
Come on.
setting
I
it
just
up
would like to
for the
encourage
closure.
everyone to understand that either both selfishness and selflessness can be detrimental. We got to have a balance and just understand that balance is healthy. You got you it's so you got both sides of the spectrum. So just be careful and just be mindful and watchful on what mindset you're in and what's your motive and your intentions when you're doing something. Is it for self gratification? Is it for gratification for others? Is it for gratifications for the Lord? You just got to understand. You got to just know what you're doing, and just got to be mindful and don't get distracted. We get distracted easy. Don't be attracted to your distractions, and then
Oh,
that's how we get caught out there. That's how we get caught out there with the different
Slow
things. You know what I'm
down.
saying?
Slow down. Slow that down. Slow that down. Wait a
Okay.
minute.
Say what you just said
I'm,
again.
I'm
You said don't
Hold
be
on, hold on, hold
what?
on, hold on, hold on.
he's just trying
And
to
you
live that.
talking about me. And listen, you over here talking about me. What?
don't be attracted to your distractions.
Going in my notes.
Right, right, Haven. Right. That's a bar.
Okay.
I don't know. Push
Somebody
my
put the
Mac off the desk.
Yes, ma'am. You know
I
you
just,
got it, kiddo.
mm,
You
I
got
just
it.
had
You
to write it
deserve it.
down. Like, okay. So, big bro, where was that was your, because really ain't nothing else. I don't know how you go. Okay. He said, mind your motives and don't be attracted to your distraction.
yo.
Where was you 2 years ago? I needed that.
You see that? You see that? I set him up for that. See how we
Whew, all right. Well, y'all, you have heard it
you're
here.
welcome. I'm here
Thursday.
for you, bro.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Y'all are all right. Mama T says, ooh, that's good. Hey, Risha, my sister's in
And
the
Mama approved.
building.
Mama approved.
Mama T says, good topic, good discussion, family. And Disciple Spencer
That's a
says,
bar.
good conversation tonight. Thank you, guys. You know, over here we talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about, but we're willing to talk about it because they need to be talked about. So if we can help just one and inspire two, we have done our job on tonight. And I thank
Mm.
me familiar being in the building. Uh,
Familiar.
yes, don't get me started. I'm super biased when it comes to the
That's deep. Don't be
because
attracted to your distractions.
that's
That's a
going on a
bar.
t-shirt. Going on a t-shirt.
That's a
Um,
bar.
and I appreciate everything that has been lent to this conversation on tonight. Again, my little sis B Haven, to the chief apostle, King Ray. And he is none other than the most amazing big bro to ever grace this side of heaven.
Bishop.
Ah, okay, and we appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. My final comments, I'm just going to read again.
Come on
This
out of
is,
that book.
huh?
You know you're reading
That's,
from that book. Come on.
I am going to read from this. Loving you is
Come
hurting
on.
me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
6 women who were sharing our stories about being in love, relationships, not just male, female, but in relationships where we were loving, but it was painful and it wasn't reciprocal. So I'm going to
Mm.
read 2 things, and it's going to be my final comments, and then we're going to close out of here and tell you what else is coming up for the rest of the month because there's still some good stuff. I shared from the first chapter, the first point I'm sharing tonight is section called When I Knew What Love Was. So I was talking about selfish or selfless love. We have to come to an understanding of what love is and when we come to understand it. So, and this book is actually out, it's published, it's out a few years ago. It can be purchased on Amazon or you can hit me up. It is a self help tool that can help you through your times. We are living proof that you can make it and you can recover and you can become healthy, whole, and be back on top to learn to love and to live again from a good place. So this again, this chapter is called When I Knew What Love Was. It started out
Mm.
with a quote from Ilanya Van Zant that says, "You don't get to tell people how to love you. You get to choose if you want to participate in the way they love you."
Mm.
That's by Ilanya. That wasn't me. So this
Mm.
is me. My pastor made it perfectly clear to me when he said, "Love is reckless." He used an analogy to explain that when 2 people back in the Bible, back in Old Testament times, when 2 people get married, it's as if they jaggedly, not neatly, they would separate an animal. When 2 people get married, during the celebration, they would tear open an animal as a part of the feast, but it wasn't
Yep.
done neatly. They would rip it apart, and it was done jaggedly,
Mm-hmm.
not neatly down the middle, rip an animal apart. Then the 2 people would walk down a bloody, gruesome path together. Who wants to sign up for that and start their new happily ever after life of bliss in such a horrid way? Although it didn't make sense or match the occasion, one would think, it is one of the most realistic symbols depicting what love really is. I now know that love is committing to take a rough journey with someone down a hard road and turning it into something beautiful. It is accepting the balance of good and bad. We talked about balance, joy and pain,
Mm-hmm.
strengths and weaknesses, and failures and success with the same energy and passion that we had before. I understand that love is not always fair or even. Sometimes you will give more than you get. It involves sacrificing for someone who's built to sacrifice for you when you need it. Love is reciprocal, like the infinity symbol. It's an exchange of power that pushes and pulls, ebbs and flows, but ultimately it leaves no lack. That is when I knew what love was. So I wanted to share that with you guys tonight as we're thinking about what love is and the selfish as well as the selfless points. We need one another. How we show up, how we react, how we respond affects one another. And the last thing that I will share with you is I want to read this poem, and that's how we're going to close this out on tonight. Um, this poem is called Ripples, and it's written by me. And it says, we are so much more. And this is just to show you how we affect one another. So as we're doing things, just be mindful what you do. No man is an island, but we are operating and supporting one another. We are so much more than a single life. Everything we do causes a ripple effect. Just as a rock skipping on the water, its motion, its interaction, its engagement causes the still water to move down to the force behind it. And just as that rock skipping on the water, so are we. We are a force behind someone else. Everything we do causes a ripple. We cause a motion of force with our choices. Effect or affect, which will you be? Will you be the verb and influence? Will you be what produces a change in someone or something? Or will you be the noun? Will you be the result of the change or the influence? Either way, effect or affect, we are tied together, responsible for one another, bound by the strings of life we live each day. What mark will your ripple leave behind? Will the world even notice when you're gone? Do they even know that you're here now, that we are here? The world is in need of ripples of change. People are in need of ripples that heal their pain. We have to make sure our ripples, whether effect or affect, ensure things don't remain the same. With that,
Whose phone is that?
huh? Why are
Do
you
I hear something in the background? Rock.
why are you screaming like that? What is happening? Okay.
I'm trying to listen to the poem, and he over here sliding down whatever he wants.
Don't worry, I'm gonna read it for you. I will send it to you. But I want to thank everybody.
Put your phone on mute.
Huh?
You all for joining us on tonight. The family has gone crazy now. It's okay. We appreciate you here on the show on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I'm your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B. Please join us again next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we will be talking about, now I'm excited about this conversation. We're going to be talking about intimacy and intentional healing. So come on in, come prepared to have a whole good conversation because we are ripping the Band-Aid off, okay? We are busting out the box. We getting down to the nitty-gritty of it, no holds barred, and we're going to have this good old conversation.
Fix your face.
Yes, sir. I want to wish you all a very, very happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. I pray that you get the love that you deserve. Even more so, I pray that you be the love that somebody needs. So have a great night, everybody. Panel, hang out with me for a second, and we will be done. Good night, guys.
Like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Tell him to quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes and my diddy boots ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life